Hello everybody, welcome back to SnowRunner, my hard mode playthrough in the Taiga in Big Salmon Peak, and heading into the warehouse to pick up some cargo. I am going to get some metal beams out of the warehouse. Basically, I want to load up in this trip 2 lots of metal beams and 2 lots of wooden planks, and we are continuing with the main contracts. At the moment I think I've got reservoir selected, factory reservoir, and I believe that this loading station has 1 lot of metal beams for me. Oh, it has 2 lots of metal beams. I'll get both of them. Get them out of here. Put them on the loading platform, please. I thought there was 1. If there's 2, then I'm going to take both of them, but I'll position a trailer so that I can load it. The Tatra's still over at the concrete plant. I'm not going to bother bringing it back just yet. I might do at some point. Detach the trailer. Get these loaded. And then the 2 lots of wooden planks is just because 6 slots, I'm more comfortable putting double stacked single slots than I am with, like, potentially I could load up 4 lots of metal planks, but the chance of dropping stuff on the drive is a bit high for me. So I'm gonna destruct the wooden house that's at the gateway to this warehouse and stick it on, take it through, and use it for cabin construction, just to make use of the fact that I'll have 1 empty slot on the trailer, and I may as well make that 2 lots of planks. I think that's probably about right. Right, so that's all of the metal beams gone from this warehouse. I really enjoyed the last episode. We had a unfortunate OBS crash, which gave me a little bit of a continuity error, but I've just finished editing and uploading that episode now. So I'm recording this on Saturday morning. It'll be the Monday video, but the Saturday video I just finished editing. And yeah, this ended up being a bit shorter. I probably could have done these metal planks then. I lost track of the duration of the episode, partly with I wasn't sure I'm never quite sure how much I'll time lapse, but also with that continuity error I ended up with 2 videos basically to splice together and try and make it work, but I think it worked alright. I don't want that to go crazy on me. That's close enough. So restore the crane, reattach, pack it, and then we'll go and get the wooden planks. And I've put those on the back of the trailer because then I won't need to disconnect to load up wooden planks. Two slots packed, good stuff. So let's just make sure I remember exactly where the wooden planks are. Yeah, so after we get past the level crossing, wooden planks are here. We're going to just take that with us. And then there's more metal framing here that I will end up coming back. I might even do that now just to sort of clear this corner, because this is, my fuel is stored here. So this is a convenient corner for me to empty out. So we'll be working in this corner of the map for probably all of this episode and maybe a little bit of the next. I've just been looking at through my spreadsheet, and I think, not including the fact that I can claim some of the metal beams the way I've just done, I think there's a total of 41 slots worth of metal rolls would be needed if you crafted the whole thing for this map, for the metal needed. So that's pretty... I don't want it on there, I want it on the loading platform. That's it's a pretty intensive amount of cargo to shift, but I think that I can satisfy this map's needs, especially because I'm picking up some metal beams like I'm just doing right now, prefabricated metal beams. I think I can do all of this without using the metal rolls that are in the warehouse near where I rolled the twin steer over in the previous episode. So those metal rolls, if needed, will probably go into Flooded Foothills. And I think Flooded Foothills, if I understand it right, I haven't been to the construction zone to have a look, but if I understood it right, that'll do. You have the option there to take beams and convert them back into rolls. So that's a funny... So over there you've got an infinite supply of beams in the warehouse, and you can take them to a crafting zone and turn them into rolls. That's that house destructed. Unpack, repack. That's those 5 slots fixed in. Now we'll get the next one done. On top. So yeah, I think I will be ferrying all of the metal rolls from this corner to the crafting zone on this map, which basically means a bit of railway driving down to the metal crafting zone at the south of the map. I've only got a drive on the road, this should be okay. I'll do. Restore the legs. Leave the crane out. Actually, no, I will restore the crane. Don't think it helps anything. And then we've got to get this lot out through this first little bit. Is a little bit of a snowy, muddy mess. But then we're on the road next to the fuel tanker. And we're just going to drive this to the factory, deliver the 2 lots of metal beams for reservoir. And that'll be all of the beams that that contract needs. Then we'll take the wooden planks around to the cabin crafting zone, refuel, and then drive back down to here to load up more metal beams from this corner of the map. Or I might run some rolls down just for a bit of variety. I refueled on the way in, so I'll be fine to get to the warehouse and back without stopping for fuel now. Switch to low-high if I can. Got to start using that controller. It's so difficult sometimes to change gear with the mouse. I'm not fluent enough with the controller at the minute. I'm not as quick with a quick winch to save myself in certain scenarios. I've been doing it on my campaign save, and I'm just not fluent enough to use it on the series yet. I need a bit more muscle memory. Right, I'm just going to double check it is reservoirs I've got activated, yes. So this is unload zone for reservoirs. Engine off. Cargo, metal beams, 1, 2. And then this now requires 4 small pipes. We've got 2 of them on the side of the road, or on the side of the trail, up in the hills with the twin steer on its roof. They need to be recovered. And then I think that's the only 2 on this map that you can sort of get out of a warehouse. So the other 2 units plus any others that are needed will need to come from the crafting zone. And I will recover the twin steer, I'm just not going to do it just yet. Not until I need it. Well, not until I've got another reason to go up into that corner. Let's get these wooden planks around to the cabin crafting zone and deposited. Engine off. 1, 2. So I could now craft. Okay, so I'm missing a cargo container in order to craft. Yeah. So I need cargo containers. I can get those from the warehouse as well. Trouble is, a lot of this you kind of have to do one-way empty trips quite a lot, because there's nothing I need to take to the warehouse. So I'm trying to make sure I don't run empty unless I need to. What's my fuel like? I'll take a bit of fuel out of this Kodiak for a minute. Get myself parked close enough. Engine off. Change into the Kodiak. Refuel. Yep, we're all full. Okay, so here we are back at the warehouse. I just quickly moved the Phoenix up. The Phoenix can act as our loading vehicle. And what I'm going to do, kind of mix it up a little bit, is I'm going to move... This is mainly to try and be fuel efficient. I've filled the tank up on the Tega on the way past. So I've got full fuel. And I want to try and get some metal rolls down to the metal processing factory, and then get back up here, load up metal beams, and then get back to the fuel trader. And if I can do all that on a tank, it's an efficient use of fuel, I hope. And it also mixes up the content slightly. So I don't feel like I need to cut quite so much. Phoenix. So I'm going to load up, basically, and I'm going to try carrying 6 slots of metal rolls. I don't know how well metal rolls will stack loose on top. I assume they're not actually, well, okay, so I know they're circles, but I'm assuming they're on a flat pallet. It might not actually, if they're circular, they're going to roll off, right? So, see how that works. So metal rolls on the loading platform. These, yeah, so they're a pallet, but they're a round top, so they might not stack one on top of the other very well anyway. Engine on. I'm going to say crane mode, but if I put my legs down, they're going to interfere with the platform. So the legs probably aren't working very well, but I'm going to go for it anyway. So I'm going to load up 5, and then I'll see if I feel like 6 might work. Because it might be that the physics engine, they don't look like they should stack one on top of the other, do they? Maybe I won't double stack rolls. Even if it works, it doesn't look right. This crane is so much better than the little blue cranes. It's not maybe as powerful as it looks, because it does look like it would be nearly as powerful as the really big cranes, and it's probably equivalent to the yellow US crane, but it's the only non-US truck that can have a decent crane on it, basically. I assume it's funny that the loading point or the winch point is in the middle of the circle. I assume auto pack is going to rotate all of these 90 degrees and that they would be, the roll would be across the trailer, not in line with the trailer. Not that that makes any difference really, but yeah, I'm not going to double stack these. Even if it worked, it doesn't feel right or look right. So 5 at a time it is, unless I start convoying vehicles again. I'm not sure how useful it is. Convoying is okay in certain scenarios where it's easy enough to navigate route or a very, very long distance, but I'm not sure that either of those things is true for where I'm going with these, so we'll see. But I need to move nearly 40 of these into the loading zone, and 5 at a time, obviously 8 trips, close to 8 trips. Does make you wonder about the 8-slot trailer on the back of something like a Kolob. I'd have to buy the trailer and the Kolob, but it does make you wonder. Yeah, I thought so. So they pack across, but even if it would work, it wouldn't look right or feel right for me to stick another pallet on top of that. I'll take it as it is. I could maybe convince myself that a 2-slot pallet of beams could go on top, or pipes could go on top. That'd be packed down and work, but no. Not another pallet of these. So I've got 2 choices here, basically, to get these down. I've got to get them to, or want to get them to the rolled steel factory. And I can either take the straight line, which is down the railway track, probably as far as here. And then, because the railway track is blocked, come up here. And then the road the rest of the way. That's option A, which is pretty much a straight line. Option B is to go all the way around the road, past the unloading zone, and into the factory from the road. And obviously that's safer because it's nearly all road. But I'm going to try the straight line, see how I do. And the grad is down there because I just left the grad. How much fuel has the grad got in it out of interest? Over a third of a tank. I'm hoping that I can get the Tega down and back and load up these metal frames, refuel, and then back to the factory. So this is going to be a yo-yo trip. We'll see how we do. Should I take some fuel out of... Yeah, I'll take a bit of fuel out of the Phoenix. Because the Phoenix just needs enough to do crane work and get back to the fuel tank. And obviously if I'd left the fuel tank here, this is a logic error. I shouldn't have moved the fuel tank until after I'd moved all the metal beams and this warehouse was empty. I moved them for concrete deliveries and didn't really think about the fact that I'm going to do metal beams straight after. So this isn't trivial to follow the railway line with a heavy cargo. I'm going to see how it goes. I think I'll cross over and try and go between these power poles. And then now I would be better off getting back to the other side of the track. I just felt that was a better way of getting past that blockage. Maybe not. Get back on the other side because it's flatter. Take a power. Quick pause for a screenshot. Off we go. And we're just going to deposit these. We're not going to craft anything. This is just a cargo movement activity. Load up that construction bay, get back. Not going to worry about crafting and delivering the stuff yet from here, because I think I can deliver that from the roadside easier. I just want to get the warehouse empty so that I can be done with that top corner of the map. Somewhere here, I thought I could get back to the road. I hope I haven't made a mistake with that judgment. I just remembered there being a way through here when I came through with a scout. In one of the early episodes. Because this is the road, yeah, this is it. Up there was the watchtower. And this is the trail where we had to fix the road by removing some rocks. Whack that in low. It's not hunting gears all the time. Ooh. I immediately need it in auto so I can reverse off this rock. Right, that wasn't too bad a run. We're now at the back door to the crafting zone. There's the grad coming into view now. I have to move the grad because I left it parked in the way. Engine off. Change into the grad. And the grad will probably pick up some bricks on its way back to civilization. But not right now. Too far away to don't use that method. So I'm just going to deliver this, turn around, go back. So looking at it though, I could do that as a circle, couldn't I? Thinking about it, I may just change my plan. So I need 2 lots of small pipes. I could deposit this, pick up the 2 lots of small pipes that I just craft, drive up to the unloading zone, unload it, and then drive back, get fuel, and do that as a circle until I'm done. That might be the better way to do it, rather than going back up to the warehouse empty. Let's try that. That feels like a good idea. So cargo, metal rolls, deposit. 1, 2, 5. Now I'm going to craft small pipes. I'm going to take 2. They only use 1 each. And then I'm going to put small pipes on the loading platform. Yeah, I'm going to pick both of those up. So, disconnect. I'm making it up as I go along again, people. I know. Plans are forming in my head. And that's making me not talk enough. Because I can't multitask. Crane mode. Legs down. This does feel like a more fuel efficient way of doing what I was planning to do. And then there aren't any 1-slot items I can craft here. I can only make the pipe containers a 2-slot as well, aren't they? Yeah, they are. Yeah. That winch noise you can hear, it's not the winch, it's the gears in my brain turning, trying to work out what I want to do. Brain needs some lubrication. Restore the crane, reattach, and then pack the cargo. And then I'll pause and have a little bit. What I'm wondering is if there are any either bricks or wood 1-slot cargo that I can pick up on the way that are close enough to not jeopardize my fuel situation. Especially because the grad is here as well. So there are bricks here and wood. I'm not gonna worry about the bricks that are up in the swamp for now. wood framing from there. So I'm not going to bother with that one. That's too far off my beaten path. It's probably not unreasonable to try and get those bricks. Or should I just chuck more small pipes on top? I am just going to get myself back to the construction zone, do my loop that I was talking about, come down, do another batch, and repeat. And I'll worry about the bricks and things on the side afterwards, because otherwise it's going to disrupt the flow a little bit too much. Once I'm confident I can do this loop with fuel, on the next loop round I might end up going off and doing some bricks and things on the side. And I've got 2 more lots of these small pipes at the twin steer, and I do need to get that twin steer back on its wheels, get it reloaded and get those delivered, but I'm not going to do that in this episode. I might start the next one with a twin steer rescue. I wanted to do something a bit more predictable, and it mixes up the content, right? I've got so much metal rolls and crafting of metal product and delivery of metal product to do. I may as well get some of it done and then have a interesting diversion to get the twin steer back on its wheels, to break up what could be monotonous repetition. And why I didn't get that in low in the first place. Coming up the hill in also like a noob. Because I am a noob. Leave it in low to go down this descent. And this twisty bit here is pretty much why I'm not doing this as a convoy. Because when I did that as a convoy before, after I did a wrong turn, admittedly, but it's difficult to track 2 trucks through that twisty bit. The second one just got caught, and I had to basically drive 2 different trucks anyway. So this is reservoirs again, and this will be 2 of the 4 small pipes needed. One, 2. And reservoirs is the one I think that needs the fuel trailer that I've got parked up near the warehouse. So when that gets down to 500, which is probably depressingly close, we'll get that delivered there as well. It also needs 2 cabins, but I'll worry about. What I might do is do all of the cargo except cabins first, and then just run around and do all the cabins in one go. That gives me a bit more time to think about what I want to do for a heavy truck. And I've been playing, as part of getting used to having a controller on my campaign mode save, I've been driving the Tatra Force. And nobody told me this. It can do the Holy Trinity. So it's a heavy truck, but it can have the same crane that is currently on the Phoenix. So it's a big, longer reach crane than most non-US trucks can manage. It can have a 2-slot sideboard bed, and it can tow trailers. So and it's pretty fuel efficient. It's not too bad. So I have a fairly strong desire to get one of them. Yeah, nobody told me that. Holy Trinity on a heavy truck that can pull big heavy stuff fairly easily, I hope. I haven't really tried it on like one of the super heavy trailers, but it's got to be as good as anything else I've done heavy work with so far, even if it's not up to Kolob standards, because it's quite a lot smaller than a Kolob. So I did that with 168 litres left, so just a shade over half a tank of fuel left after doing that loop. So I think that's pretty good. That is good progress. And then the Kolobs, I don't think I'm going to buy one. And that's partly because I can get a free Tatra Force. And yeah, I've just said the Tatra Force isn't as big as, and therefore, you know, when the purpose of buying a big truck is to get a big truck, obviously the Kolobs are bigger and therefore better-ish. But the main reason is I can get a Tatra Force for free. It's not going to be easy to get because there's a lot of work to unlock it, but I can get it for free. And then I can subsequently also get the Zix 605R for free. And if I got to the point, or when I get to the point that I've got 605R, I don't know that I would use a Kolob again, because I think a 605R does everything the Kolob can do plus more. I don't think I missed it. I haven't got a 605 Zix on my campaign save, so I can't compare it my own sort of experience. But on paper, it looks like a better version of a big truck. So my intention at the moment is to keep my money for now. I may end up buying something else. I've talked about buying a Bandit in the past. Keep my money for now. At some point, I'd like to go and get the Tatra Force as a special expedition. Which will probably be at least 2, maybe 3 episodes of special expedition. And therefore there's a bit of a time crunch if I wanted to do that as part of this, as part of delivering the heavy stuff on this map. Then I need the Force sooner rather than later. And then rely on the fact that when I go to a Muir, I'll get a 605, and that can do the thing that I was going to reserve the Kolobs for. Does that make sense? It does in my pretty little head. Nothing in front of me to winch to, please. I'll do. Ooh, titanium tree, always useful. I think I've been through here so much I've probably chewed up a muddy path that's making it a bit uncomfortable, even for taker power. So this is going to be a repetition of exactly what we just did. Load up 5 rolls off the back of the Tatra and then head down the map to the factory, turn them into small pipes, deliver them to reservoir, maybe get some bricks on the way past. I'm not going to get metal beams because they're 2 slots. I just need a convenient 1 slot cargo, 2 units of, and I can double stack them with the small pipes easily. Engine off. Cargo, metal rolls, loading platform, times 5. Get it done. Not that it helps much in terms of the crane work, but stick some lights on. It's not quite so dark for you guys. I could put 6 in if I didn't pack them. It's a bit safer. Because they're quite small pallets. So I'm silly not to try it. Obviously I won't be able to pack them. I'm going to try it. So that leaves 5 in the warehouse, which is a single trip worth next time. And then there are 10 in this other loading zone. So there's basically another, after this, there's another 3 trips worth at this loading zone. Now, some smart ass, guarantee it, because I'm the kind of smart ass that would say a thing like this, is going to say, what's the difference between doing that and chucking 6 long logs in it and then packing it at the other end? And in my head, and I'm not saying my head is right, but in my head, that is a cargo that would work in the real world. I could put those 6 slots in, they're all inside, and I could strap that down and I could drive. That would work. Game stops me doing it, but that would work. Whereas logs, 2 lots of long logs in the blue trailer wouldn't work. And I know that in the game, 2 lots of long logs unpacked is just 6 spindly little sticks. When you pack it, it's not. It's proper big bunch of logs. So yeah, so for me there is a difference. Your mileage may vary. And it obviously is a slight risk that because they're not packed, that's maybe slightly more likely to fall out. Don't think so though. And repeat exactly the route that we just did. Well, I may go to the right of this first obstacle rather than going to the left. It might have been a slightly easier route to go this way over the track. Not sure it makes a difference, to be honest, but yeah, that was slightly easier because you only have to cross the track once. It'd be great if you could fix the trains and then just move all 40 units of steel in one go on a big old train. I know that would be a different game. So I know there is an alternative way up to the trail here, but I didn't do it the first time because I think there's a fairly sharp left-hand bend there. I didn't fancy it. I do think I will continue doing what I did before, which is down to here. I think that's a more gentle turn from memory. And I know that at the other end I'll have to take one of these rolls out of the bed, put it on the floor, pack the bed, deliver, and then put that one back in. So I'm not sure how much I really saved by carrying 6. I'm not going to do it. There's 15 left up at that warehouse. So I'm not going to do it as 6 per, because it just leaves some spare anyway. For the next 3 trips, I will just do... This is just to satisfy my curiosity about hauling 6 of these in this trailer. Oh, hang on a minute. I just caught out of the corner of my eye. It looked like the very back one nearly bounced out then. If I can drive it so that I can actually see the trailer. Right, take one out. I choose you. Don't know whether I can pack while they're on the crane, so I'm not going to bother. I'm just going to put it down on the floor for a minute. That one back in. Right, so that's all of them deposited. Now I want to detach the trailer. Craft 2 more small pipes. Load them up. A little bit far away from the trailer. Can I reach it from here? I may have moved myself a little bit too far away. I'm going to rely on auto pack, that'll do. Install the crane. Again, I'm not going to try and double stack these. Just going to drive up the road, get it delivered. Pack the cargo. Done. Now we've used more fuel. Well, actually, we haven't used more fuel. We've started with less fuel because I remembered while I was driving down a railway line that on the previous trip I filled up out of the Tatra Phoenix before leaving the warehouse, whereas on this trip I am minus the fuel that it took to get from the trailer to the point of being loaded. So yeah, this I'm confident that this will work in terms of being able to get back, but this has ended with less fuel in the tank than the previous loop, which is why I'm not going off and getting bricks. Plus the length of the episode isn't far off what I'd want it to be. Did it again, didn't I? Right, let's get it going. As soon as I can get it into high, I will. The low high with the ascent and descent of this hill. I must remember there's a contest to do down in this area as well, in and amongst these rocks. And that might be particularly relevant because I need to come up with an expedition force to go and get the Tatra force. And I think that the Ford F750 should feature in that rescue team. So I would want to be done on this map with that Ford F750 before I commit to taking it off to Don region. Because that's my biggest problem, is all my best trucks are on this map. Engine off. Got enough fuel to get back to the fuel trailer, that's it, that's what matters. So these are the final 2 cargo units for this contract. Done. And therefore the unloading zone disappears. For now. And then when I look at the contract, basically what it requires now is 2 cabins, which are at this residential area. At the moment, I've got one cabin located at this residential area, but I haven't done anything. I need to craft 2 more cabins because I need 3 on some of them. And then once that cabin is delivered, the next phase is to deliver to the same unloading zone we've just done, oil tank semi-trailer. And I am assuming that by that they mean this fuel trailer. Not sure I would have called it an oil tank, but I thought it was I thought it had a different name to that, but anyway. So all of that is for next episode. I'm going to wrap this one here. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the episode. We got a bunch of stuff done, but there's a bunch more to do. So there's going to be quite a few episodes of this type of just hauling stuff from A to B. At least 3 more circuits of those metal rolls that we've just done. So I've done 2 in this episode. I might try and squeeze 3 into the next episode and just get the metal rolls part of this map done, finished. And then we'll have to worry about bricks, cabins, anything else that's needed. But I'll plan all of that for the next episode. So thank you very much for watching. I hope to see you in the next episode. But in the meantime, thanks and goodbye.